Really?
Hi, I'm Keely Enright, the producing artistic director of the Village Repertory Company, in partnership with the Post and Courier to bring you this episode of No Intermission series. Ladies and gentlemen, Liz Duran.
So when I was 15 years old, I was tired of hearing no, and this time I wanted the answer. Now, what parent to go to? I chose my dad, the soft touch of the family, the one you asked for anything for from first because the odds were higher you would get it. Dad was actually the parent that I spent the most time with. Every night after dinner, my mother would clean the kitchen and return to her bedroom with a romance novel tucked under her arm. I used to wonder why she didn't want to sit around and watch all the cool TV shows that Dad and I watched at night, but I would have to have children myself before I envied those hours she stole with her romance novels. Dad and I knew what day of the week it was based on what was on TV. Is it Tuesday or Friday? That would be Happy Days or Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, how we loved watching what those Duke boys would get up to week. But our favorite was Wednesdays, Little House on the Prairie. I remember we were particularly excited about this one episode. It was the second of a two-parter. Little Laura Ingalls had run away from home, and Pa was on a desperate search to find her. Now, little Laura ended up being just fine, and when she was finally reunited with her father, it was everything you want your Hollywood ending to have. They run into each other's arms, and they hug, and they cry, and they say, "Don't you know how much I love you?" Well, all of this was making me very emotional, but I didn't want to break down in front of my dad because we weren't a family that shared our feelings. So I waited until the credits were rolling, and I got up and I said, "Good night, Dad." And I was walking out the room, and I'd almost made it out the door when he stopped me and he said, "I love you." I froze. This was the first time my father had ever said that to me. And I didn't know how to respond. I was so on overload with the emotions from the Little House episode. So I said, "I love you too." And I ran to my room. But when I was 15, it was time to talk to my TV buddy. And I found him one night out in his garden, his happy place, tending to his carrots and his corn. And I walked up to him. I remember this so well. I put my hands in the pockets of my jean shorts and I said, "Hey, Dad, can I ask you a question?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Dad, am I adopted?" "Well, why are you asking me that?" he said. Whoa, now that was new. He'd never responded that way before, so I decided to play a little trick. And I said, "Well, Dad, my friend's parents seem to think I am." And he looked at me and he said, "Yeah, you are." And at that moment, I just wanted to scream and say, "I knew it! I have been asking since I was 10 years old. Why haven't you told me this about myself?" But instead, I looked at my father and he was crying. So I hugged him and I said, "Well, if I had to be given to anybody, I'm sure glad it was you." And I turned around and I walked back to the house, my heart beating with all the words we never said. And we didn't speak of it again for over a year.